Okay, everybody, I'm going to be making a tutorial this time to help you place 3D text in a video, and then you're going to mess with that a little bit to get it looking the way you want. So I've gone ahead and downloaded the file from Canvas. It's called Placing 3D Text, and right now I just have, I'm going to actually close this project because I was working on something, so you can kind of see what it looks like from the beginning. So I've got no project working on, so I'm starting from scratch. This time I'm just going to drag in the placing 3D text, and it's over here. And now I've got no composition, so I need to go ahead and right click and make a new composition from the selection. It'll go ahead and make a new composition from that. So to speed things up, I've gone up here to view and resolution. I've moved it down to quarter, so the lower the resolution, the easier it'll render in After Effects. That's just going to help things move faster because After Effects tends to move kind of slowly. I don't really like the color of this piece, so I'm going to do some color correction before I start placing the text. So I just typed in Loom, and Lumetri color is what we're going to use. And you can apply that right there to that. And you can mess around with a lot of different settings in here. Temperature and tint are your basic ones, and you can kind of see how that's going to affect things. You can also use the white balance dropper, so this is supposed to be white right here. I just don't really like how warm it is, so I'm going to mess around with that until I get it to a place where I like it. Of course, depending on what kind of mood you're going for, that will change how you end up making this look. So if you want to make it look kind of weird, depending on what kind of film you're doing, you could do that. You can also mess with the highlights, make it a little brighter. Exposure is really powerful. You don't want to do too much exposure. You can mess with the contrast, depending on what kind of mood you want to go for. But there, I've lightened it up. So I want to see that you can mess with the Lumetri Colors settings. So do that to some degree so that you can know how to do that in After Effects. Okay, so now I'm ready to go ahead and start placing my text, and you need to go to this tracker window. If you don't have it, you can go up here and make sure tracker is clicked. So I'm going to track camera, and you can hit OK if it shows you that, and then I can see over here it's initializing, and it's going to take a little bit, not too long because it's a fairly short shot, but it's going to take a little bit for that to count down. So what that's doing is actually making little dots that it's going to place, and you're going to be able to put an object or some text in to the frame here when it's done. Okay, now I should have a whole bunch of dots, and you can scan through and see some of the dots are staying in the same place. I'm going to go to right here because I want you to place the text right on top of where all these, right on top of the bricks here. So I've drawn a line, kind of a box there, and I've selected a few of the bricks. And, oh, I lost it there because I moved the camera. Let me try that again. I'm going to select a few bricks, okay? And now I'm going to right click. I'm going to create a text and camera. Okay, so now it's made a text layer. You can see it there kind of hanging up. So it's hard to read though from the perspective that it's in. So I'm going to have to go down here to text, no, transform, yep. Transform, and I'm going to need to mess with the orientation so that I can actually see it. Because the way that it's oriented right now, I can't see it. I want you to get it so that it's standing up straight. You're just going to have to mess around with the orientation. It's going to depend on how you place the text to begin with. Okay. And then when you've got that and it's a little easier to read, you can go ahead and highlight that. And you can change it to a font of your choice. Pick something that looks cool. Yeah, sure, let's do that. And we're going to be using your name again. That's way too big, so I'm going to have to change the font size. You can also change a lot of other things here. You can make the font taller, you can make it wider, you can raise it up. Don't want to do that. You can. One of the most useful things together is being able to move the letters farther and closer together depending on how you want it. But go ahead and put your name there. And then you should be able to see, okay, wow, now it's tracking and it stays in the same spot while I'm moving. All right, that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and apply an effect now to the text so that it comes in. I don't really like the color either. I think I'm going to change the color. Okay, just so that's a little easier to see. I'm going to go ahead here up to effects. And what effect you use is up to you. You'll be going under animation presets and then under text. And under 3D text, you can kind of just kind of mess around with what you want. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to try it out. Okay, and text is gone now, so if I look in my keyframes, I can see, okay, now that there is some action going on in here, so I can scroll down and kind of mess with that and see, okay, it's under here under range selector, so I'm going to go ahead and space those out. Okay. I forgot to mention, you're not going to be using the audio at all for this one, so I'm going to go ahead and undo that. But now the letters are coming flying in. And that could be a pretty good shot for some sort of intro that you're making for your TV show intro. So that's all you got to do for this one. You need to go up here to File, Export, add to Adobe Media Encoder Q, the same way you exported the last time. So you shouldn't have any difficulties with that. If you do, go back and refer to the first video that I made.